Varsity Club, welcome back to another classic. And the Kodiaks, we're back. The way the season ended was heartbreaking, and I honestly thought we were going to be extending it to a game 7, but we were a hair away from having that happen. Losing in dramatic fashion is never fun, especially when this team felt like it was finally going to be their year. This upcoming season will more than likely be the last year for the Kodiaks, and that's just because the views have been dropping a little bit, but if they go up, then maybe we do one more season after that. That being said, we have one goal and one goal only: to win an NBA championship. So if you're excited for the final season of this series, do me a favor, like the video if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment down below with how you think we did this offseason, because it's going to be a big one. So your NBA Finals matchup is going to be the Hawks versus the Spurs. It is what it is. It's going to be a close one, but the Spurs end up going out 4-2 and winning. You imagine Giannis gets your MVP. He does. He gets that trophy he's been waiting for his entire career. 28 points per game, 9.8 rebounds per game, 6.5 assists. For him, that's kind of light work, but the dude is a monster, and we had no answer for him. As we hit the retirements for the offseason, Marvin Williams, DJ Augustine, Derrick Rose, and Patty Mills, two guys that retired that are going to impact their team a good bit. Evan Turner is going to retire, Wilson Chandler, DeMarre Carroll, Isaiah Thomas ends up retiring, Bojan Bogdanovic is going to retire. There's some players here and there, but there's nobody that's really blowing us away outside of maybe Derrick Rose, but it's kind of to be expected. We also see Doc Rivers retires, and James Borrego is going to retire as well. Both of those guys have spent a long time in the league, so not surprised. Kyle Lowry, though, is going to get his jersey retired, so good for Kyle Lowry. He put a lot of work in Toronto. In terms of the league meetings, there were a couple of things that were overall happening here. Now, I did change two rules here that got rejected. I changed one from rejected to approved, one from approved to rejected. What we changed from rejected to approved was players are eligible for the entry draft once they reach 18 years of age. It's about time. We're getting rid of the one and done rule in this universe. Players can now go into the NBA draft straight out of high school. The others got rejected, but then this one down here at the bottom was approved. It said offensive and defensive key violations to be changed from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. No, I don't want that one approved at all. I don't want people camping in the paint even longer than they do now in the NBA. We're rejecting that one, and those are our rules that we changed. So the draft lottery comes out. The Jazz go 1, the Celtics go 2, and the Timberwolves go 3. If you're looking for us, well, you've got to look quite a ways out. We're number 15, so we pretty much ended the end of the lottery there, and then we have another pick ultimately for our team at 30. So 15 and 30, not exactly ideal, but I want to try to move up in this draft. So we're heading into the NBA draft, and you see the Jazz are up number 1. They go Amani Porter. He's a really talented center that I'm not surprised that they took. We are not going to make a trade as it currently is. We're going to eventually make a trade if we don't like who we have at 15. You see back-to-back centers go 1 and 2 at the top of the draft for the first time in a really long time. Now, we have an interesting trade opportunity here at the 15th pick that I didn't know if I wanted to take it, but I think I am. I know you're probably freaking out. Yo, Cassius Cain, we're getting rid of him for a rookie out of this draft. I know it sounds crazy, but just wait. So the rookie in question is Akeem Ivey out of Georgetown. He's a slashing shot creator, but if you look at this dude's attributes, you've got a really good driving layup. Driving dunk is not bad for a 6'3" point guard. His mid-range shot is money. 3-point shot is pretty solid. Free throw is not very great. But as you keep going down, ball handling, speed with the ball, hands are great. I'm looking at this dude as being kind of maybe that bench scorer that we really need, a guy that can really take charge of the offense in that second unit, because we didn't really have that when RJ Hampton went down. When you take a look at his badges, that's kind of really where I get a little convinced. He has 13 badges as a rookie: gold giant slayer, silver acrobat, bronze fearless finisher, bronze Lob City finisher as a 6'3" point guard. He can also play shooting guard as well, but he's got silver tireless shooter, bronze blinders, bronze difficult shot, bronze volume shooter. From a playmaking standpoint, he's got silver ankle breaker, bronze dimer, bronze downhill, and bronze unpluckable. And then he's also got pickpocket, so he can play a little bit of defense. The 15th pick is a lot. Cassius Cain is a lot, but we're getting another first round pick that we could try to flip in this draft for another player. I'm willing to take it. The other opportunity they wanted is Jaren Jackson Jr. I can't really do that. He's too important to our team. So Cassius Cain, you've been great. We need somebody else. Akeem Ivey, welcome to Vancouver. At pick number 30, we're making a little bit of a gamble on a guy, but I think at this point in the draft, you got to go ahead and make a gamble. Darius Gordon from The Ohio State is a guy we're going to take. I think he can contribute pretty early on for our squad, especially off the bench. In our second round, we're going to go after Damian Johnson, a dude that was slotted to be as high as number 17, but fell due to character and attitude concerns. I'm willing to take a gamble. We need probably a little bit more of that on us. He is laid back, but he can be a little feisty. He's a 7-footer that has a ceiling of Tyson Chandler or floor of Will Purdue. But honestly, we need some more depth at that side of the court. So we're taking Damian Johnson in our second round pick. So to run down how this draft ultimately looked, there were some absolute studs in here. We just couldn't really get a trade up to the top portion of the draft, and it's too bad because there were some monsters up there. Amani Porter goes 1, Decolis Niniatis, probably butchering his name, goes number 2. Wallace Slaughter, a great young player who's going to do wonders for Minnesota. You've got the Iron Man taking Evan Wade. Rashid Reed, a guy that I really wanted as well, went to the Nuggets. There was some major talent here. A lot of high 70s, a lot of 80s in there as well. You see a 79 going to the Wizards and Fred Hayward. If you go down where we were ultimately, we traded again at 16. So, you know, some moves were made at that point. But at 30, what did we end up going with? We ended up going Darius Gordon, who's a 73 overall. Again, not bad. There were some 75 sitting out there, but I really think that Gordon is going to be one of the better players for us at that point. And then even in the second round, we got a 74 overall in Damian Johnson. Again, a dude that I think will help our team out a ton. He's a big body dude with good attitude and some feistiness. I think we needed that. So again, for our rookie signing, Akeem Ivey, Darius Gordon, and Damian Johnson, we're signing every single one of those dudes, and we're going to need all of them for sure. As for team and player options, we're picking up every single one. Von Diggas is a 2-year team option. Obi Toppin with a team option. Bol with a team option. And Stan Moore with a team option. Bol's going to be interesting. I think we're still going to try to keep him. Let's have a big man rotation, but we may have to move somebody here or there. Now, in terms of some of the top players of the league, you see some guys like Oscar Stokes and Lorenzo Wallace and James Wiseman all accept their options, but Chris Middleton declined his. If you keep going down, Kristaps Porzingis declined his as well. You see Lonzo Ball declined, and a couple others out here are going to be sort of important. Actually, a lot of these dudes ended up accepting their deal, so not as many players that we really thought might have hit the market as they would, but still there's a couple of dudes that might make an impact. We did have restricted free agents in Cameron Reddish and then Trey Jones. I'm going to not pick up that offer. We got Akeem Ivey. We no longer need him. Cam Reddish will probably get a massive offer. We're going to have to match that, and we'll have to figure out how it is. And Rabuya Christopher literally hates us, so we should just probably let him go. So as we're sort of going through here and looking at what our cap hold situations look like before we hop into free agency, Gallinari has a $32 million cap hold, and I am extremely excited to go ahead and renounce that one. Trey Jones will renounce his as well. Cam Reddish, we obviously want to keep his cap hold. Dwight Powell has been great, but I think we got to get rid of Dwight Powell because we've got some dudes that are contributing a little bit more now, especially some rookies that are coming in. So ultimately, the only cap hold that we're even looking at potentially is Cam Reddish, because we're going to need him. We got rid of our backup small forward, Cam Reddish. We got to retain him and make sure we pay him pretty well. So we may have overpaid a little bit, but we had to sort of be competitive. One of the guys we signed in the moratorium period for free agency is Josh Okogie. We definitely need him. He's got really good perimeter defense, which is going to help us out a ton. Again, if we go look at his sort of attributes at this point, driving dunk 75, his 3-point shots is 72, mid-range is 78, free throw solid, so we can use him late in the game. But the major reason why we got him in is that he'll be a solid player overall, but his perimeter defense is a 91. We need that, especially come postseason time, the Spurs. So some competitive offers came in for Cam Reddish, and we want to make sure we locked him up. Unfortunately, someone came in with a 3 years, $63 million contract. So we need to sign him. We're going to do it, but I'm crying. So a lot of big deals ended up happening this offseason, which I think part of them will change the landscape of the NBA. Jokic goes to the Pacers. Ja Morant signs back with the Grizzlies for a massive deal. LeBron goes to the Mavericks at this point, 38 years of age, 55 badges, still a 92 overall. Joel Embiid goes to the Nets. Zion goes back to the Pelicans. D'Angelo Russell goes to the Iron Men. So they got a franchise player for once. Middleton's in the Clippers. Kemba Walker's back with the Celtics. Kobe White's back with the Bulls. Capella now goes from Atlanta to Memphis. The Pelicans get Lonzo Ball back. Karis LeVert now goes to the Clippers. The Magic get Mo Bamba. Darius Bazley's going back to the Thunder. Wiggins is now in the Supersonics, looking happy as ever in that photo. But here's how our roster ultimately netting out. So again, RJ is going to be our starting point guard. Akeem Ivey will be playing a major role coming in as our backup point guard and sometime as shooting guard to spell out Von Diggins. Darnell Paul we still have for some period of time. Darius Gordon and Von Diggins again at shooting guard. Our small forward is going to be Cam Reddish and Josh Okogie, which I think again will be kind of a pretty good balance of what we had last year, but these guys can alternate around a lot. Power forwards, we have Jaren Jackson Jr., Obi Toppin, Stan Warren, and Al-Farouq Aminu. Aminu is really there just for inside defense or somewhat in the postseason. I don't think we're really going to play him much, but he's probably sitting the entire year until we play a team like the Spurs where we're going to need him. And then at center, we have Bol and Damian Johnson. Again, I need both of these guys to be big force all year long. I need boards, I need defense, and I need boards. Player progression is something we're excited about here. Jaren Jackson Jr. goes up 1 point overall. His inside defense goes up from an A- to an A. Great news for us. Von Diggins is now an 84 overall, going up +2. Cam Reddish goes up 1. RJ Hampton goes up 2. Obi Toppin goes up 1. We signed Okogie, and then he goes down 1 overall. So that's not exactly ideal. Bol goes up 1 point. Akeem Ivey obviously is a rookie, doesn't really go up much. None of the other guys go up much outside of Darnell Paul, who goes up +2, and then Aminu, who's old, goes down 2, but we kind of figured that would happen. So training camps are here, and we have 2 real points we can essentially go ahead and do. I think one of those is going to be free throws, and I think we're going to use that to Von Diggins because Von Diggins, but we actually, I guess, sends the whole team, so the whole team goes there. So everybody really went up a little bit in free throws. Darnell Paul has our highest free throw rating on the team. Maybe we'll keep him. And then we have one more camp. I think a lot of our guys are in a pretty good spot, but I kind of want to go maybe perimeter shooting here. No, a lot of our guys are pretty good there. RJ's at an A+ now, which is great. Let's actually go Ivy. We'll put Ivy in a 3-point camp. He's pretty low there. He goes from 88 to a 90 for mid-range, 77 to 79 for 3-pointer. Okay, not bad. The team that we probably care about the most in what they did in the offseason will be San Antonio. They still have Giannis, they still have Rudy Gobert, Vassell's still there, Murray's still there, Keldon Johnson ends up coming back. He was a restricted free agent, but nobody really made a play at him. Maybe we should have tried to drive his contract up a little bit. Otto Porter, Lucas Amanich, Carl Wolf. I mean, this is pretty much the exact same team that they had before. I mean, they're retooled, they're a little bit better. They're going to be just as tough. One of the more underrated teams, though, is going to be the Pacers. Yes, they have Jokic. They still have Harden. Harden's 34 now, so he's losing a little bit in overall. He's an 89 at this point. But they have Darius Garland, Danny Tinsley, the rookie from a couple of years ago, John Barry Carroll. I mean, there's a lot of talent on Indiana. They could make some noise in the East, and they also took Gallinari after we got rid of that massively ridiculous contract. The Rockets are going to be interesting to watch too. Russell Westbrook, TJ Warren, Cassius Cain. We're going to miss you. Taylor Horton Tucker, Allen Reese, Chris Silva. I mean, again, they're loaded with a lot of talent out there in the West. It's going to be an interesting year for our team to see how we do, but I think we have a lot of the pieces that we need. We're ranked the #2 team in the entire NBA, and I think with Jaren Jackson Jr. coming into his own, with Von Diggins taking this team, putting it on his back, and Cam Reddish hopefully stepping up this year, I think we're in a good spot. RJ will be great. Okogie's going to help us out on defense. Obi Toppin proved that he can be a stellar defender and contributor. And Akeem Ivey is a dude that I really think is going to have to be a big time player. We gave up a lot. We gave up on a rookie from the previous year that we loved a lot. And now it's time for this rookie to show that he can be better than Cassius Cain in more ways than one. If not, you're in trouble. Be safe, be smart, tell somebody you love them. We'll see what the Kodiaks have in the next episode.